Polarized microscope. Polarized light microscope exploits optical properties of materials to discover details about the structure and composition of materials, and these lead to identification and characterization. In polarized light microscope, light is emitted from a source in all directions. In the wave model of light, all directions of vibration are equally possible. If the light passes through a special filter called a polarizer, then the only light that passes is that which vibrates in that preferred direction. Light that vibrates in only one direction is called polarized light. A PLM uses two polarizing filters, one called the polarizer and the analyzer. If the polarizer and analyzer are aligned parallel to each other, the polarized light passes through and is seen by the eye. If the polarizer and analyzer are perpendicular to one another or are crossed, no light penetrates and the result is total darkness or extinction. It is used to study crystalline substances that show bifringence. Polarizing microscopy has found wide application for the examination of bifringent minerals present in soil. By using the immersion method and selecting the proper immersion liquids, a refractive index corresponding to each plane of polarized light can be determined. Similarly, criminalists use the fact that mean synthetic fibers are bifringent to characterize them with the polarizing microscope. Fluorescence microscope. Fluorescence is the luminance of a substance excited by radiation. The wavelength of the emitted fluorescence light is longer than that of the exciting radiation. In a fluorescence microscope, the specimen is illuminated with light of a short wavelength, for example, ultraviolet or blue. Part of this light is absorbed by the specimen and re-emitted as fluorescence. High pressure mercury arc lamps are the most common. Mercury arc lamps is used as light source and emits white light, which is passed through an exciter filter. It allows only the blue component of the white light pass through. Diachronic mirror, which reflects blue light but allows green light, is used on the path. Specimen is previously stained with fluorescent dye. Further, portions which retain the fluorescent dye absorb blue light and emit green light. Eye perceives the stained portions of the specimen as glowing green object against a jet black background. It is an important tool for clinical medicine, pathology and research. It is used to identify unknown organisms, especially those who show fluorescence. Stereo microscope. The details that characterize the structures of many types of physical evidence do not always require examination under very high magnifications. For such specimens, the stereoscopic microscope has proven quite adequate. It provides magnifying powers from 10x to 125x. This microscope has the advantage of presenting a distinctive three-dimensional image of an object. The working of this microscope is based on Greno principle, that is, there are completely two optical paths that are re-separated by angle difference of 15. The image formed by the compound microscope is inverted and reversed, upside down and backward. The stereoscopic microscope is more convenient because of the prisms in its light path that permit the formation of a right side-up image. Its wide field of view and great depth of focus make it an ideal instrument for locating trace evidence in debris, garments, weapons or tools. Its potentially large working distance, the distance between the objective lens and the specimen, makes it quite applicable for the microscopic examination of big bulky items. When it is fitted with vertical illumination, the stereoscopic microscope becomes the primary tool for characterizing physical evidence as diverse paint, soil, gunpowder residues and marijuana. Electron microscope. Electron microscopy employs a particle beam of electrons focused by magnetic lenses. Electron microscopes have a much higher resolving power and greater depth of field, that is, more of the image is in focus at one time. Then light microscopes can magnify a specimen hundreds of thousands of times. Electron microscopes are either transmission or scanning. In a transmission electron microscope or TEM, the electron beam passes through a specimen that has been very thinly sectioned and projects the beam into specially treated plate that transmit the image to a monitor. TEM images are much like light microscope images in that they provide information about the internal structure of the specimen. A TEM can resolve extremely fine details down to the atomic scale. A scanning electron microscope or SEM rasters a beam of electrons across the specimen and provides a non-colored image of its surface. The beam of electrons is emitted from a hot tungsten filament and is focused by electromagnets onto the surface of the specimen. This primary electron beam causes the emissions of electrons, known as secondary electrons, from the elements that make up the upper layers of the specimen. Also, 20 to 30% of primary electrons rebound off the surface. These electrons are known as backscattered electrons. SEMs can reveal details only a few nanometer in size. Their magnification ranges from very low around 2x up to 250,000x or more. SEMs are used in forensic laboratories to analyze a wide variety of samples including paint, particles, fractures, tool marks and gunshot residue. Its great depth of field and magnifications are exemplified by the magnifications of cystolithic hair on the marijuana leaf. An SEM image of a vehicle's headlight filaments may reveal whether the headlights were on or off at the time of a collision. Another facet of scanning electron microscopy has been the use of X-ray production to determine the elemental composition of a specimen. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe.